How you begin your day holds more significance than you may realize. It's not just about habits or routines. It's about laying a divine foundation for everything that follows. Have you ever considered what God has in store for you today at this very moment? In Jeremiah 29, God speaks directly to your destiny, your future, and the purpose He has designed for you. What if, instead of waking up and diving straight into distractions, you started every morning with God's Word? What if your thoughts, actions, and entire day were lined with the truth in Jeremiah 29:11? Let me tell you, this is where transformation begins. Let me show you how to start your day with strength, intention, and divine direction. The first battle of the day isn't against your circumstances. It's against the clutter of your thoughts. In those early moments, you need a reminder of God's plan for your life. Jeremiah 29 is not merely a verse to read. It is a direct message from God Himself about your future. You may think today is just another ordinary day filled with responsibilities, but God views it differently. He sees it as another step in the grand design of His purpose for you. In Jeremiah 29:11, He declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Notice the certainty in His words. I know the plans. God isn't uncertain about your future. He isn't making guesses. He knows. His knowledge is not bound by time or hindered by the challenges you face. His plans are woven into your very being, crafted to bring you growth, purpose, and fulfillment, even in seasons of doubt or difficulty. What does it mean to prosper in God's terms? It's more than just financial gain or worldly success. It encompasses spiritual abundance, inner peace, and joy beyond human understanding. God's definition of prosperity includes your emotional well-being, your relationships, and your divine calling. When you wake up each day recognizing that God has already set a divine path for you, it changes your outlook. You are no longer moving aimlessly, but walking in step with a heavenly purpose. Starting your day with Jeremiah 29 is about reorienting your mind and heart to God's promises. Life will bring uncertainties. Some days may feel like walking through fire, but even in those moments, God's plans remain intact. When you declare Jeremiah 29 over your life every morning, you aren't just reciting words, you are engaging in a conversation with the one who holds your future. You are reminding yourself that His thoughts toward you are good, that He has designed a future filled with hope just for you. Imagine waking up and instead of reaching for your phone or immediately worrying about the day's tasks, you take a moment to declare, God, I thank you that you know the plans you have for me today. I trust you because your plans are to prosper me, to give me hope, and to give me a future. That declaration sets the tone for everything that follows. It's a statement of faith, anchoring your day in God's peace and divine will. But let's be honest. Trusting God's plan doesn't mean every day will be easy. In fact, Jeremiah 29 was written during a time of exile for the Israelites. Their world had been turned upside down. Yet in the midst of displacement and uncertainty, God gave them a word of hope. He assured them that even in their struggles, His plans were still in motion. The same is true for you. No matter what trials or uncertainties you face, God is still working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for your good. When you start your day with this understanding, you shift your response to life's challenges. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as a vessel of divine purpose. Even your struggles become tools in God's hands, shaping you into the person He created you to be. Jeremiah 29:11 empowers you to face each day with boldness, knowing that God's hand is upon you and His plans are actively unfolding in your favor. There's a reason Jeremiah 29:11 is one of the most cherished promises in the Bible. It speaks to the core of our longing, to know our lives have purpose, that we're not just existing but thriving in God's divine plan. And this plan is not just for the distant future, it's for today. Each day is a step toward fulfilling God's promises. Every morning is another opportunity to align yourself with His plan and embrace the reality that you are part of something greater than yourself. However, let me remind you of an essential truth. God's plans don't always unfold on our timeline. Sometimes they take longer than expected. But here's the beauty of God's timing. While we are waiting, while we are questioning, He is preparing. Every season, whether of abundance or waiting, is part of God's design to bring you closer to His perfect will. When you start your day with this understanding, you walk in a peace that nothing in this world can shake. To truly experience the power of Jeremiah 29, you must go beyond merely reading it. You must internalize it. When God says, "I know the plans I have for you," He is calling you to trust in His wisdom above your own. You may not see the full picture, but God does. He sees the fruit of your faith, the rewards of your obedience, and the joy that awaits you on the other side of your trial. Starting your day with this promise is an act of faith. It's a declaration that even when you don't understand your situation, you believe God's plan is greater than your own. It's trusting that He is leading you toward a future filled with hope, and that every step you take today is part of that journey. That's why it's crucial to meditate on this verse each morning, to let it shape your thoughts, your actions, and your outlook on the day ahead. When you wake up with Jeremiah 29 in your heart, you aren't just preparing for another routine day. You are preparing to walk in divine alignment. You are setting yourself up for spiritual success, for God-ordained moments, and for His favor to unfold in unexpected ways. There is undeniable power in beginning your day with God's Word as it equips you to face whatever lies ahead, not by your strength, but by the promises of the one who holds your future. Every morning is an opportunity to recommit to God's plan for your life, to remind yourself that you are not here by accident. You are not wandering through life aimlessly. God has placed you in this moment, in this season, for a divine purpose. When you start your day with Jeremiah 29, you are making a conscious choice to walk in step with His will. You are choosing to trust that He will guide you, provide for you, and lead you in the direction of His perfect plan. When you wake up each morning with the promise of Jeremiah 29:11 on your heart, you are tapping into the very mind of God. You are aligning with the eternal wisdom that has already mapped out your life from beginning to end. But let me remind you, walking in God's plan doesn't mean a life free from challenges. In fact, the road to your destiny is often filled with obstacles, delays, and moments of doubt. That's where faith comes in. Faith that God's plan is bigger than any setback, any delay, or any disappointment. Each trial you face is not a detour, but a part of the process, preparing you for what God has in store. Consider the Israelites in Jeremiah 29. They were in captivity, far from home. From their perspective, everything seemed lost. But God didn't abandon them. In that moment of despair, instead of abandoning them, God sent a word through the prophet Jeremiah, a message that pierced through the darkness of their situation and reminded them that even in exile, even in the lowest moments of their existence, His plan was still unfolding. You may find yourself in a similar place today. Perhaps life has not turned out as you envisioned, and you feel like you're in a season of waiting, a time where progress seems stalled. But just as God had a purpose for the Israelites in their exile, He has a purpose for you in whatever season you find yourself in now. The promise in Jeremiah 29 assures you that your present circumstances do not determine your final destination. God's plan is active even when it feels like nothing is changing. Beginning your day with this mindset reshapes your outlook on life. You are not merely passing time, waiting for something to change. You are actively engaging in God's divine process. Each moment of your day, from the seemingly mundane to the extraordinary, is a part of His greater design. When you wake up knowing that God is in control, you move forward with confidence, recognizing that even delays serve a purpose. You start seeing challenges as stepping stones for growth and closed doors as divine redirections towards something greater that God has prepared for you. One of the most profound truths in Jeremiah 29 is that God's plans are always working for your good, even when they do not align with your own expectations. We all have dreams, ambitions, and goals, envisioning a particular way our lives should unfold. But what happens when God's plans differ from our own? Do we trust in His wisdom, or do we cling to our limited understanding, feeling frustrated when things do not go as we hoped? This is the real test of faith. It is easy to trust God when everything falls into place. But true faith is revealed when life takes unexpected turns. God is never caught off guard by the detours in your journey. Every twist and turn was known to Him before you were even born. More than that, He has already prepared a way through every obstacle you will ever face. Nothing in your life is outside of His plan. He is not making adjustments as you go. He has seen the end from the beginning, and He is leading you with divine precision. That is why beginning your day with Jeremiah 29 is essential. It refocuses your heart on the truth that no matter what unfolds today, God's plan remains in motion, and it is a good plan. When God declares, "I know the plans I have for you," He's not speaking in vague terms. He's addressing you personally, acknowledging your unique journey and purpose. His plans are not generic or one size fits all. They are intricately designed for you, taking into account your gifts, calling, and potential. The incredible part is that God's plans for your life are not just about your individual fulfillment. They are woven into His greater kingdom agenda. You are not here merely to seek comfort and security. You're here to make an impact for His kingdom. Your purpose is interwoven with His divine mission, and every day presents an opportunity to contribute to that mission. So when you wake up and declare Jeremiah 29 over your life, you are not merely asking for blessings. You are aligning yourself with God's eternal purpose. You are stepping into a divine partnership where your life becomes a vessel for His glory. This is where true prosperity lies, not in material wealth or status, but in fulfilling God's purpose for your life. This kind of prosperity brings a peace the world cannot offer and a joy that circumstances cannot steal. Beginning your day with Jeremiah 29 is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about facing them with the confidence that God is with you. It is about walking into every challenge with the assurance that His hand is guiding you even when you do not see the full picture. It is about trusting that His timing is perfect even when you feel like things are taking too long. God's plans do not adhere to our human timelines. He is never late, never early, but always on time according to His divine schedule. It is crucial to understand that while God's plans are good, They are not always. There will be seasons of stretching and testing, but these are necessary for your growth. Just as the Israelites had to endure exile before experiencing the fulfillment of God's promise, you may have to walk through difficult seasons before seeing the manifestation of what God has prepared for you. But do not be discouraged. Those seasons are not the end, they are preparation for what is to come. With the perspective of Jeremiah 29, you begin to see trials differently. You realize that God is using every situation to refine and shape you into the person He designed you to be. He is preparing you for the plans He has in store. And that preparation often involves being tested. God never allows you to walk through the fire alone. He is present in every season, in every trial, refining your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for greater things ahead. The Israelites were in exile for 70 years before witnessing the fulfillment of God's promise. 70 years of waiting, uncertainty, and faith that God's plan was still intact. Yet through it all, God never forgot His promise. He was faithful then, and He remains faithful now. The same God who brought them out of exile is the same God working in your life today. He has not forgotten you, nor has He abandoned His plans for you. In fact, the season you are in right now is a vital part of the journey toward the future He has prepared. Starting your day with Jeremiah 29 serves as a reminder that no matter how long the wait or how difficult the path, God's promises are steadfast. His plans will never fail. He is a God who keeps His word, and if He has declared that He has plans to prosper you and give you a future filled with hope, you can rest assured that those plans are already in motion. Even when you do not see the full picture, trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your good. Make it a daily practice to declare God's promises over your life. Speak Jeremiah 29:11 aloud, allowing it to take root in your spirit. Let it shape your mindset, actions, and expectations for the day ahead. When difficulties arise, remind yourself that God's plan is still at work. When discouragement tries to creep in, remember that His thoughts toward you are always good. And when you feel like giving up, hold on to the truth that His future for you is filled with hope. This is the power of beginning your day with God's Word. It transforms how you perceive yourself, your circumstances, and your future. It provides a firm foundation when everything else seems uncertain. It anchors your soul in the truth that God is for you, not against you, and that He has already gone before you to prepare the way. So as you step into your day, cling to the promise of Jeremiah 29. Trust that God's plans are unfolding even when you cannot see them. Know that He is with you in every season, leading you, guiding you, and preparing you for the future He has destined for you. Align your heart and mind with His word and watch as each day becomes an opportunity to walk in the fullness of His purpose. As you embrace Jeremiah 29 each morning, may God's promises fill your heart with hope, peace, and remember, His plans for you extend beyond today. They encompass a future overflowing with His goodness. No matter what challenges arise, trust that He is guiding you toward His divine destiny. Let each day be a fresh start, aligned with His will and purpose. May the Lord bless you, strengthen you, and lead you in every step you take. Thank you for allowing me to share this word with you. May God's favor rest upon you as you walk in the fullness of His plans. Blessings to you always.